And at long last, the only Oscar movie I haven't seen this year, which is, I think, the first time that has ever happened.
Impressive considering the Oscars are Sunday.
I know, right? Like most time, it's usually like a few that I just didn't get a chance to watch for whatever reason. Like I still need to watch Parasite. I still haven't watched that one. Uh,
Oh, that's so good.
I know that's what I keep hearing about. He's like, yeah, I'll watch it, and I just completely forget and I never watch it.
I think
Uh,
it's on Hulu.
I know that too. It doesn't change the fact that I keep forgetting about it. And then it's one of those things like, oh, but I got to work on stuff, and I don't want to have to stop to read. Uh,
um, Speaking of which, I usually can't keep up with a lot of subtitles, but this is the second year that I've watched an Oscar-nominated Korean film with subtitles, and I was actually able to follow the story and catch most of the lines. So,
yeah.
yay
Uh,
me!
this is a very rare case where I've seen at least all the Best Picture nominees, I should say. I think it's probably something that on the list that I didn't get around to watching. But anyway, so how do you say the name? Minami? I know I'm horribly butchering it.
Minari.
Minari. Okay. Minari. I'm gonna try to commit to memory because I don't want to be like an cultural asshole if I can't just say the goddamn name of the movie. So Minari is a movie about Vietnamese Americans
I
who.
thought they were Korean.
You're right, they're Korean. Sorry, Korean. Oh god, the hate comments are again rolling. The Korean American family who moved over to Arkansas from California to kind of start over and try and make a farm, and the entire movie is them just kind of figuring that shit out if they even can. Meanwhile, there's a son that has heart problems. He becomes one of the central folks, and the grandma comes to live with them, and the rest is just trying to figure out how to live with each other. Um, Now, granted, that is very broad strokes what this movie's about, but this is a very small story, very like low personal stakes, and
Well, the stakes are high for Jacob, the father.
well, you know what I mean.
This
Like this
this
isn't
this
like
farm this farm is his dream.
you know what I mean though. Like this isn't
Yeah,
like apocalyptic or like big massive stakes. It's very personal, very central, very family character oriented stakes. Uh,
yeah. It's a smaller, more realistic story in that sense. It's not a high concept film.
No, not at all. And in that simplistic framework, it worked pretty well. I liked it. I like it's kind of remind me a bit of Nomadland, which is another one that's nominated this year. In that it's very quiet, very no, I don't not ethereal, but somber,
Contemplative.
contemplative, somber, beautiful cinematography.
Oh yes.
Great highlight of the Arkansas landscape, and also another reason why I stopped going to church. Uh, um, and like this is one of those cases like I really enjoy this movie, but I also like for me I can't stop comparing to other Oscar movies that I just kind of liked better, and I can't quite pin the reason why I didn't like this one as much as the other ones. So it's one of those weird places like I'm feeling all of the feelings. I'm getting what I'm supposed to be getting out of this. But if I had to pick one, this one's not going to be in my top five. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm glad that it's in the conversation. It
Oh,
definitely deserves to
absolutely.
be there.
Absolutely. No, I'm very glad this movie got nominated. Very glad that it's getting the recognition that it's getting, especially since I didn't even hear about it until the Oscar list came out. Uh,
Same.
so, like, I'm glad movies like this are gaining more recognition. I'm glad Parasite set a precedent.
Yes.
I hope it goes beyond one Korean film a year. Uh, which
That would be most welcome. Yes.
which so far seems to be the standard. It's like, all right, every third one in there, it's okay. We're diverse now, right? You can stop blaming the whiteys. No, okay, shit. uh,
Uh, I I think I might still be behind on a few of the Oscar films. I I did go to the theater to see The Father, um, which that's another one that I'm glad is in the conversation,
oh
even
yeah,
though it's a hard watch,
yeah.
much harder than this one.
Go watch our review of that one because that one gets fucking deep. Um,
And I started to, and then I had to go to bed. So,
I was talking to the audience and you as well if you haven't watched it.
yes, sorry.
And
Um, I've I've seen No Man Land and Promising Young Woman and Mank. I think there's still a few that I'm missing.
Sound of Metal,
Yeah, seen that.
Judas and the Black Messiah,
Haven't seen that.
and The Trial of Chicago 7.
Still need to see that. My reluctance is based on how historically inaccurate it is.
That drove me fucking nuts when I was watching it. Because I was Googling it while I was watching. I was like, motherfucker, Sorkin. Your historical revision to appear more centrist. God damn you.
But there isn't too much to, at least from my perspective, not too much to analyze or critique about this film, about Minari. It's beautiful, and it's a good character study, and the family dynamics and roles are expertly on display. And
oh, sorry, go ahead.
And I guess you could read a commentary on starting over and following your dream in America, and the obstacles and sacrifices that are necessary to see that dream through. But apart from that, I don't have too many insights into this particular film. What were your thoughts?
A few things to analyze on this movie. One, I think it is interesting that it is a American story that's told through the eyes of Korean immigrants. I think that is a story that's often not told very much. And that's definitely a case where I was wondering while I was watching it is like, okay, well, they don't bring up, like, the people around them don't bring up the fact that they're Asian very often, which is kind of surprising because this takes place, I want to say, like in the 80s.
Yeah, the tape player tipped me off for that, and the camera.
Yeah. So I think it takes place in the 80s, and this is one of those weird cases where it's like, okay, every movie that has like a racially diverse main character doesn't have to be about race. So like
that was refreshing.
Yeah, so I was gonna say like that was kind of nice to see. That being said, I did find it a little weird just how like overtly accepting everyone was in Arkansas.
Well, I don't know if I would call the locals at the church accepting. Welcoming, yes, but I didn't completely get the accepting vibe from them.
Okay, well, uncharacteristically welcoming. Then let's go with that descriptor. The only ones that are just overtly just say the quiet part out loud are the kids, are the white kids who say like, "Oh Jesus," which again, you want to say the kids wouldn't say that, but I witnessed it. I once worked with this kid who said like this I'm not gonna say it on camera. I'll tell you off camera, but said something one day. He was like, "Oh no, you can't say that," and then he just doubled down on this like accidental racism. Not in a way that I think was like intentional, but I was like, "Oh God, what are your parents teaching you?" That kind of a thing.
Gotcha.
So like not the kid's fault, but at the same time, it's like, good Lord, okay, yeah, we should have a conversation later. But anyway, so like on one hand, like it was refreshing to see it like not be the focus and just have it be a story that happens to have this family that comes from a different country. On the other hand, it did feel a little weird that they used like again Arkansas of all places as a city. Like California, I can at least kind of get, but Arkansas.
They mentioned that they came from California. Jacob, the dad of the family, said in the beginning when they arrive at their new home, at their new land, that he moved there because of the color of the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, not knowing much about agriculture, but having grown up in California, why would you leave California for Arkansas if you're an agriculturalist?
Cheaper land.
Yeah, not necessarily better land or better produce, but
nope, that's how they get you. That's how they get you to go to bumfuck Arkansas. I'm gonna get a lot of angry comments from Arkansas people now. Either that, or they're gonna be on my side and like, yeah, we live here. It sucks here.
Well,
let me know in the comments.
We got Bill Clinton from Arkansas.
That's a coin toss right there. That's a good thing. Because like, say what you feel about the Bill Clinton, but he did fuck up a lot of things. Mostly in regards to the war on drugs. But anyway, that's a whole other that's a whole other topic we don't need to get into right now. Yes. But I think one thing you could say is like Jacob in this movie is very much like, I will admit this movie took me a while to kind of win me over because initially I was just kind of like, I kind of fucking hate everybody. Was kind of how I felt at the beginning because like Jacob's kind of a pretentious prick. Like he kind of talks down everyone. He thinks he's smarter than everybody.
When his wife is actually smarter than he is.
Exactly, except for his wife, who just calls him out as bullshit for the most part, rightfully so.
And she's not unreasonable about it.
No, for the most part, no. Although there were a couple times coming like, okay, come on. But then again, I don't really know if that's a judgment that's fair of me to say. So I'm gonna let that one sit for was. And the kid for a while was just, I legitimately had with the mother was I felt like the mother kept trying to make her son do things he just clearly and vehemently did not want to do.
Like pray?
Like pray or eat the fucking walnut that her grandma just spit into her hand, or drink whatever kind of what I don't know what it is, whatever drink that he was making drink, even though he vehemently says, I don't like this. This is gross. Now, granted, the kid was kind of a little shit about it, but but still all the same.
It was kind of rude how he kept on saying in front of his grandma, "You're not a real grandma because you don't bake cookies."
I mean, I run to kids like every week. They go, "Why does Spider-Man have a belly?" So on the other hand, it's like kids have a great with filters. At the same time, I did think like, "Oh, you little shit," kind of like that. And the grandma, kind of the same ballpark, also kind of trying to force her way of living onto these poor children who were just having none of it, including like openly just teaching them how to gamble, which was kind of funny.
It was, and from what I've heard from my partner, some grandmas are like that. His grandma taught him how to play poker.
God, if my grandma was like that, we'd get along so much better. But like as the movie goes on and their relationships, they kind of start to build and they start making that connection and they start growing together. It's like, all right, you've won me over, movie. This is pretty sweet. All right. You've melted my cynical heart. You're really just looking to hate you. So like and the other movie won me over this character. Is Jacob doesn't really feel like he learns much by the time the movie ends, other than just double down on whatever dumb idea I have. Actually, that's not entirely true. He does eventually kind of become more amenable to other suggestions and ways of going about it. Even though he's still like just dead set on this losing course.
Even if he even says when they're at the hospital for their son's checkup that even if he fails, he has to see it through to the end.
Yeah.
I was kind of more on Monica, his wife's side of that argument.
You see both sides pretty clearly in this case. Like, yeah, you can reasonably go in either angle. I think you can look at the wider context. It's just a thought that just occurred to me just now. In terms of like what the movie's like representing, the movie's really about is just like a failing marriage. At the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, this whole farm, this whole land thing is supposed to be a magic fix. And when a relationship or a marriage is falling apart, you're looking for that magic fix that's going to make it all better again. Even if you, and that's what Monica says towards the end of the movie, spoiler territory, by the way, is that even if things are going good, even if things work out this way, or we manage to find a fix for this or this or this, this isn't going to last forever. We are going to have the same problems again, and nothing's going to change because we aren't actively learning from it. Instead, we're just trying to get to the good times and then hope that the good times last forever, even though we both know that they won't. And that is a very human lesson.
Yes, and a very hard one to learn and accept.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the honest trailer for the 2021 Best Picture Oscar noms.
Yeah.
And Screen Junkies compared this movie to The Simpsons, and I kind of can't unsee the comparison now.
As someone who's like never watched The Simpsons, I think I'm kind of freed from that comparison. Thank God.
Because it has the smart kind of put upon hardworking wife. It has the stubborn dumbass husband. It has the bratty smart-ass son. It has the smart, surprisingly mature, wise daughter.
I suppose. And granted, I think that kind of varies by degrees. As like I can see like the base comparison. But yeah, like I mean, beyond that, I don't really have a lot to say about this movie other than
it is good. I'm not knocking it.
It's very good. I guess for me, it just did not hit me in a very personal way that would initiate the same visceral reaction that like The Father gave me.
It's not as much of an emotional gut punch as The Father is.
Or like I would even say like Judas and the Black Messiah. Like, it didn't give me that same kind of what's the word I'm looking for, Sarah?
Visceral reaction.
Yes, but it's more like it is a very basic story. It is a very simplistic story, which is not a bad thing. It knows how to use those storytelling elements well. But in doing so, how much you get about it is really going to depend on your own personal experiences. Yes. In my opinion. So like I know that people are like love the hell out of this movie who might connect to it on a deeper level than I can, but since I'm a city boy,
small town girl,
I have a harder time putting myself in that position, even though I can relate to the more human elements of it. If that makes sense.
It does.
So again, kind of make of that what you will. Just know that constructually and thematically and narratively, this movie works on all levels.
It does. It's a cleverly crafted, straightforward film that has some beautiful shots and great lighting.
Although I do have to question the decision to bring on a person who, when you first meet them, starts, as the subtitles blatantly say, starts speaking in tongues.
His
like Robert, I think his name was, something like that.
Yeah, that was a little out of left field. But
that was a little weird. Like, there was one thing I was kind of like, I don't know where you're going with this, unless you're trying to equate, like lack of success with lack of faith or something of that nature. Which I don't know. I don't know what that symbolism is supposed to be. There is a very heavy church element in here, which I get is very, very big in like in just states like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't think I've seen a lot of people walking down the street just carrying a cross every Sunday, as you do.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little weird. I don't really know where they were going with that, and I still don't really understand, but
me neither.
Back the hell out of it. So it's like, hey Jim, this is just my Sunday. Don't worry about me. Just carrying a heavy fucking cross in Arkansas heat. For no fucking reason. That's not true. Not for no reason, just for questionable reasons.
That's how he chose to express his faith, I guess.
I suppose as long as he's not hurting anybody, legitimately tries to help. I mean, it's a good exercise, I guess. It's definitely unorthodox.
Yes.
Yeah, this is gonna be a short review. I don't have anything else. Do you got anything else?
Not really. I've pretty much said all I have, but to say all the initial impressions, yeah, it's good. There's not many complications to its subject matter or execution for me to sort of dig into.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty straightforward. I'm sorry, I don't have much more to say.
So yeah, I know it's probably the most exciting, engaging review as opposed to like if something really pisses me off. But you know, take that what it's worth. Go watch it. I recommend it still. I think it's definitely a good Oscar movie to go watch. Although
Yes.
for this year's nominees, I would say like it's better than Mank.
I liked Mank.
I liked Mank too, but I like this movie better. And it's a lot better than Trial of Chicago 7. So
Wow, you're really knocking the Netflix nominees.
did not like Trial of Chicago 7. So I guess that puts in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, like top 5 or 6. So take that.
Top 6. They did 8 best picture nominees this year. I think next year it's gonna automatically always be 10 going forward.
I mean, probably. Who knows anymore? What is time? I don't know. Does anyone know? Fuck it. I don't know. I still want the father to win. Although I would also accept Promising Young Woman. It's not going to win, but it would be nice if it
did. The talk that I've heard is that No Man's Land is a front runner to win Best Picture.
That wouldn't necessarily surprise me. I mean, if they want to do the same bullshit they pulled last year, they probably go with Trial of Chicago 7. Just like, what's the safest for the white people to like and still feel good about themselves? Oh, I know, Green Book.
I thought Parasite was the right movie.
Sorry, I meant the year before.
Yeah.
Not last year. Sorry. Again, what is time? I don't fucking know.
Fair enough.
I'm sure Parasite was the right choice. Then again, I will eventually sit down and watch it. But like, if that's one thing we can ask to kill some time. What movie would you pick, Sarah? Oscar prediction?
Off of the ones that I've seen, it probably won't happen. But I'd pick Sound of Metal if you're asking me right now. That was the best movie that I saw from last year.
Fair enough. All right. So I got The Father. You got Sound of Metal. We'll both probably be wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So, I'd
be happy if The Father won too. That the editing in that, what a trip.
Oh, for sure. Although part of me wants to have Promising Young Woman win just so we can have like strong female narrative actually win the Oscar, win the big one for once.
That would be cool. I hope it at least gets a best screenplay.
I fucking hope so. Give them something. They deserve it.
Yes.
I mean,
leave in the comments what you'd give best picture to. You know, if you are following the race at all, which is going to be aired on Sunday. I will probably miss it because I'll be working, but
I like reading the results, but I can't fucking stand to watch the show.
The past few years I've asked my mom to DVR it so I could fast forward through the commercials, but that's probably not going to happen this weekend.
Maybe I'll do a TikTok live stream of the Oscars if that happens. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. Follow me on TikTok at Michael the Comic Nerd and all that stuff because that's where I do live things. I mostly just play Tetris, nothing exciting, but I'm trying something new. Yeah, I think it's all we got. So thank you guys for watching. See you all next week with Mortal Kombat, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now that series is over, we can talk about that. And still got to see Monday. That's a newer one that we haven't watched yet. Which is also Sebastian Stan, ironically enough.
Oh, I think I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah, it's out. So that's something we can add to the list.
It looked really pretty.
I heard good things about it. I heard mixed things about it, actually, now I think about it. But something to watch. So thank you guys for watching. See you later.